Nikki. Hello. Hey, Emily. Just got on, yeah. Like just this second. JC, are you a newer viewer? That rhymed. I feel like I haven't seen your name too often. Welcome if you are. I'm happy you guys joined in. I would love to know if it is helpful for all of you for me to even make the scheduled lives like I was doing for a while. I was making it so people could register, but then not a lot of people were doing that. They were just joining the day of. So I don't know. If it really is helpful for you, any of you, I will make them again, but it seems like everyone's kind of just like joining anyways, even without it. My week has been okay. It's been a little chaotic, but everything is like resolving. More cat stuff, but are you telling me to start reading? Or are you saying you just started? I usually give everyone a couple of minutes to come in. And we talk about the weather because that's what the diary writer does. So yeah, how's everyone else's week been? It was nice we had Monday off of school, so it's like been a shorter week. I know you're fixing your last comments. Okay, I thought you were like, start. Just get to it. In the beginning, when I first started doing these lives, we had a lot of like riffraff on here sometimes. Like we have a pretty great crowd that comes back every single week and everything, but it took a while to establish that. And in the beginning, I remember someone commenting like, because we were having a great conversation about something in the middle of, you know, our normal typing, and someone was like, will you just start typing again already? I was like, oh my god. Like, they were like, stop talking and start typing. Currently at work, mostly be listening. That is fine, Emily. What was I just saying? Oh, we had Monday off of school, so that was nice. It's like a shorter week. And Friday, I had a professional development day. You remember that, Nikki? That is so funny. Yeah, stuff like that will stick with you. Especially, I didn't really know how to react to it, I remember. There've been a couple of weird comments on these lives, but for the most part, it's really tame. Yeah, I had a professional development day on Friday, which is just the teachers went in, and the kids were home. It was a long day. We had like a training, and it was interesting, but it's definitely, I'm an art teacher, and my job all day long is like short art classes, like 40 minutes, and I teach 6 classes a day usually, so it's very like fast paced, and it really breaks the day up into chunks. It makes it go by quick. I don't realize how much until I'm sitting in one chair for 6 hours. Like, then I really realize how much I like the format of my job. Like, I don't think I could sit at a desk all day. As I'm saying that, I'm realizing, like, if I was sitting at a desk all day doing this stuff, that would be fine. I can do that. But, man, I don't know. Doing professional development all day was, like, a force. It was good, though. Could have been worse. Hi, Brenda. I'm glad you're here. Hey, Penny. I think I said hi to you before, but hi again. You're saying hi to Rachel, that's all. All right, it's good to see all of you guys in here. So we are reading through September today. We're getting close to the end of this diary, and this is the last diary. Hello. This is the last diary of the Delaney's that we have. So this right now is written by, hi from Australia, that's awesome, hi from Massachusetts. This one is written by Edna Delaney. The first one that we read was written by Todd Delaney, and we've seen like their whole story, so it's been a very interesting ride. It's sad that we're getting towards the end, but we do have other diaries lined up for after this, and so yeah, I guess we'll start. We've been doing like a month a session, which has been, I think, a good chunk. Like, that's a good goal to have, because otherwise it's really hard to stop. I remember the first few I was on here for like 2.5 hours, 3 hours. Like, it's good to do just a month at a time, I think. But it's very exciting. I definitely have mixed feelings about starting something new, because it's nice. It'll be interesting to start from the beginning and learn like from scratch, you know, but then at the same time we've spent so much time researching this family and their story, and I've met so many people. I've actually met the diary writer's great-grandson. I know you guys, everyone who's here probably already knows that, so I guess I should get started. And we're going to pick up with September 1st, 1947. It's Labor Day. As always, you can join in if you know what it says. You can type it. I think by now, especially Edna's handwriting has been a lot easier to read than Todd's was, so it's a little bit quicker. But it's always nice to have some help in the comments. I can try to move things if you need it. Let me know if you don't want it zoomed in like this. I'm just having it zoomed for now. But all right, here we go. Let me know also if you can't hear me because I'm far away from my microphone. All right, so a nice day and not near as warm as it has been. It does go through December 31st, yes. I just thought of something and now I don't. It's gone. The thought is gone. It'll come to me. Edna went in with Nellie. Oh, I was going to recap the fact. Yeah, read slower. I will. I was going to recap the fact that the last month they've had this crazy heat streak. They had temperatures above 100 for, I don't even know. We should go back and count how many days, but many, many days in a row she's writing it's 104 degrees. It's over 100 degrees. It's over 100 degrees. And we were really thinking about that, oh my god, in 1947, they don't really have much as far as air conditioning and stuff to help them with that. That must have been brutal. All right. Edna went in with Nellie this AM. I know the reading has gotten a lot faster. I think because her handwriting is neater, and also we've just learned her handwriting. I can read it quicker because I can recognize patterns in her writing and in her entries. So Edna went in with Nellie this AM and stayed until after supper. She's probably talking about when she said she went in with Nellie. Probably talking about Cedar Rapids, which is the nearest big city. And we have a picture I always like to show Edna. That's Edna Jr. This is the Edna that is mentioned in the entry. Confusingly, the diary is also written by a woman named Edna. That's why I specify. So it's written by her mother. And this is Edna Jr. I don't have a picture of Edna Sr. Okay, and who else are we talking about here? Nellie. That is Nellie's sister. This is Nellie. And all of these pictures are Nellie, but this one is the clearest picture I think we have. Okay. Back here. Hi, Colleen. Okay. When they came home, they went out and watered the trees at the cemetery. So there's definitely, we've been figuring out, oh yeah, actually Rachel, no he hasn't. So Rachel asked, has Jim found the picture he thought he had of Todd with his family? This is referring to, I did a interview with Todd Delaney's great-grandson, Jim, and he actually said he has a picture of the family, and that's probably because I said I don't have a picture of Edna Sr. that made you think of that. He hasn't sent it to me yet. He keeps, every time I speak with him, because every once in a while we text, he's like, oh, I'm still looking, so I'm kind of just giving him some time, but I, honestly haven't checked in a while, so I should text him. But I'm assuming if he hasn't sent it, he hasn't found it. I know, me too. I'm dying to see it too. And at first I remember he told me he had a picture of the family farm, and I was like, oh, cool, I'd love to see a picture of the family farm. And then when we had our interview, he was like, oh, yeah, and I told you I had a picture of the family at the family farm. And I'm like, wait a second, they're in the picture? That makes me even more excited to see it. But he's actually, Jim is the reason why we have a picture of Todd himself, so I can show that too. Because maybe some people who haven't watched in a while may have missed that. That was a big turning point. Where did I, oh, here it is. Okay, of course. I have to zoom in, hold on. So that is Todd Delaney. That's a picture of him that Jim sent us. So it was crazy to finally see him him in real life, all we could do was imagine before. We only really had a picture of Edna Jr. for a really long time. And I started to say this and then got sidetracked, but the family, the two Ednas, have recently been involved in the cemetery business in some way, it seems. Like they're caretakers for the grounds or something along those lines. They've been going to meetings too. So they're somehow involved in the cemetery now. It seems like they did that after Todd passed away. Maybe, after they were taking care of his gravesite, they wanted to join in a bigger way. I'm not sure. And Jim didn't know really either, so maybe we'll learn more. All right, I was home all day and did not feel at all well. This reminds me, it's been so long since the first diary, but do you guys remember when Todd, that's funny, yeah, they're still involved in the cemetery business today, yeah, that's true. When Todd was sick in the diary, it was like every single day, I didn't feel well today, when it was his perspective, and then remember when it was partially his perspective and then it shifted to Edna's perspective? That was like really interesting and sad to see that change. Because it wasn't abrupt. It wasn't just like, oh, after he passed away, she started writing from her perspective. It was like a slow, gradual shift. All right. Kit, Pauline, and Elizabeth. She actually writes out and, so I'll do that too. We're out for a while. In the evening, Ma wanted to go to Blanche's so bad today. Oh, Blanche is Edna Sr.'s sister, so one of Ma's children, her youngest, I think. Oh, and when she didn't get to go, Catherine had her there for dinner. I think Ma is very lonely. She seems it. I still haven't figured out exactly where she lived. It sounds like she's in Fairfax, near where Edna Sr. is. But I keep forgetting to look. I should make a list. Do one of you want to start a list in the Discord for me? Because I forget to do it. I want to look up the cemetery records, like if they're part of the cemetery board or something. And I also want to try again to find out where Emma Gibson lived. And I'm sure maybe it's still under Amos Gibson's name, because they were Fairfax townspeople, but he has passed away before the diary, so. Temp 70 at 7 a.m. I canned 5 quarts tomatoes today. It was not quite so hot. Good, so it's cooling down for them today. Lloyd came out for a little while. That's okay, Pat, you're not too late. We're only on the 2nd. In the afternoon. He brought ice cream. No meat this time? Lately they've been bringing ice cream and meat. Okay, Wednesday, September 3rd. Lloyd came out this afternoon and Edna and him... Okay, hold on. Lloyd came out this afternoon and Edna and him put the something on the kitchen ceiling. Okay, that looks like a capital ice cream and meat. Emily, that's funny. No kolaches for a while either. That is true. Yeah, maybe they got sick of them. Just ice cream. Lloyd came out this afternoon. Edna and him put the something on the kitchen ceiling. I have to look at the actual book because it probably... I've been rhyming a lot today unintentionally. Even at work, when I unintentionally rhyme, I always have to like call it. I would say, oh, that rhymed. Okay, I'm gonna look in here because sometimes when I take the picture, it's on an angle and it's like blocking the word. Sometimes it's actually easier than it seems. She's a poet and she didn't know it. Yeah. Okay, we're on September 3rd. I can't believe how far we are in this diary already. And I missed a couple weeks because of various things, so we would have been further. Okay, so it looks like N-U-R-O-O-D. Nerwood. It says something about 4 squares in the center of the ceiling. Oh, thank you, Rebecca. This is my problem. I always do this. Like, I can't read a word, and I stop right there, and I don't read the next sentence. And usually, it gives me a hint. Usually, it answers the question or gives me a big hint, and thank you for saying that. They got the 4 squares put in the center of the ceiling. Okay, so this must be some kind of like light or appliance. Where are we? I closed it, of course. Okay, N-U-R-O-O-D. I'm going to search that. New roof? No. New road. That's a bike. Okay. Sometimes it's not that simple. I can look again. I wish I had it clearer for you guys so I could put it bigger, but hold on. N definitely starts with an N. It could be N-I-W-O-O-D. Maybe I should be looking up like kitchen. I have no idea what these suggested searches are. Are you guys seeing this? Trumpet player with big cheeks. Okay. Oh, maybe that's him? I don't know. I didn't search that before. Mural? No, it doesn't look like mural. I can try to zoom in again. Hold on. To what I have here, but it does go off the edge. Basically, all you can't see there is that it looks like O-O-D, and that looks pretty clear. The O-O-D, but N, it looks like a capital N. N, U, I don't know. I don't think, Norwood? Oh, Nor, it could be. The O would have to be like kind of skipped, but let's look up like kitchen ceiling Norwood. Oh, of course it's looking at Norwood, Massachusetts. That's near me. Nywood. Kitchen ceiling wood. I don't know. Narrow. I don't think it's narrow. It definitely ends in an O-O-D. New wood. No. Because it's a capital N. Type in the decade as well. Okay. So I guess I can do... Oh, hold on. No. It must be a brand name. There's a lighting company called Norwood, but don't know how old it is. Okay, that could be it. I definitely don't see an O there, but like that doesn't mean anything really, because sometimes she'll just not spell things right. New Wood is a brand of cabinets. But on the kitchen ceiling. Tin ceilings. Oh, Oh, wait a second. Is that what that is? The tin ceiling? No. Because I know what that's talking about. Oh, keep in mind that a 1940s home that used new wood wall or ceiling panels. Okay. That must... Okay, so here's the book again. Sorry, I didn't see that comment. Here's the book again. That's got to be it. Nuwood. It's ceiling panels, and they're talking about the squares. So I'm going to look up 1940s new wood ceiling panels. Yeah, that's got to be it then. It probably has asbestos in it. As a new homeowner, we've encountered that quite a bit, the asbestos problem. Wood insulating wood fiber board. So we'll have to do a little more research on this specifically, but I'm guessing it's something like this. I don't know. But that's definitely... Do you feel like that's what it says? I feel like that's what it says. Because I think that's one of the guesses, the first guesses that we had. Yeah, that seems right. Okay. Nuwood. Whoa. Okay. So let me zoom out of this. Ooh, I heard a Discord message. That means something must be in here about new wood. Where is it? In here. Bleached new wood, Corian solid surfaces. Thank you, Erin. I'm going to click on this. Oh, it's for sale. So it must be some kind of like modern fake wood. Wood imitation. Cool. Oh, that's my website. Hold on. Wrong thing. This. Okay. September, or no, we're not on September 4th yet. I have to finish. I'm looking at the diary. Like, I need to close that. Okay, so got 4 squares put in the center of the ceiling. Lloyd was here for supper. Our cats had to go to the vet again. They're fine, but again, craziness. I mean, it wasn't nearly as bad as the last time. This is all actually the shelter they came from's fault, but anyways, Ian just got home. I heard him walk in and he has the cats, so he's probably going to come down here and let them out. I can, do you guys want to see them come out? We can put them on the floor. Unless they have to go in the bathroom, I don't know. Hello!
Hi.
Do they have to go back in the bathroom or can they be free?
They're fine.
Okay. I'm going to move out of the way so they can all see. I'll make them...
let them out?
Yeah, because they never... Well, you've seen Claude.
I was going to clean up the box before I let them out.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they don't just run and use it immediately.
Well, if they do, that's fine.
Yeah, I guess so.
Here they are. Oh no, the chair's in the way. Intermission. To see kitties. Master Chef. They say hello, Master Chef. Oh, Basil. They just like slinked away. Did you guys even see them? Come here. Claude. There he is. A lot of people are saying hello to you, Ian.
Hi.
Ian took them to the vet all on his own today. They're doing okay. They have a new problem now, but that's being solved. And it's not as bad as the other problem. But it's like not been a great experience, honestly. They've gotten so big. Yeah, they are a little bigger. Claude doesn't weigh much more though. Like he's puffy, but he's like very small under there. Basil weighs more.
The blankets?
I was washing them.
Are they in the dryer?
No, they're in the laundry basket.
Oh.
Where did Basil even go?
Right there.
This way. Maybe she'll make an appearance. Alright, there's the intermission. They're probably a little bit, like, they're gonna go hide for a little bit because they were at the vet. But I guess they did okay at the vet, so. Yeah, parenthood, I know. I said this last time too, I've always had cats growing up. I've never had such problematic cats. Fame hasn't gone to their heads yet. I know, they're like the world's most loved cats. Okay, Lloyd was here for supper. It was very hot. The cats are like much more sociable now though. I know that you probably don't believe me after seeing that, but Basil's over here. Oh, good girl. They're definitely warming up to us. And they follow us around the house now. They actually go upstairs, which was like, they would not leave the basement before. Now they go upstairs and they follow. It's cute. Alright, it was very hot, about 96 or better. They both... Oh, did I, Oh, no, I totally... No, hold on, I got very confused. Sometimes when I come back, I'll get really lost. Lloyd was here for supper. It was very hot, about 96 or better. I guess that was correct. They both were... Okay, that's... They both were wet with sweat. That's where I was confused, because I was like, they, who are they talking about? Who is she talking about? She's talking about Lloyd and probably his family. Oh, Basil. Basil's going to hide. Thursday. And arriving too now, yeah. Wet with sweat. Gross. Okay. It was 100. Oh no, I thought it was getting better. This afternoon between 3 and 5 o'clock. She always gives us very specific time frames. Nellie came out in the evening. Edna worked some more on the kitchen wall after supper. Okay, so they must be doing the wall and the ceiling of the kitchen with this new wood stuff. Okay. We went on to see Elizabeth and bid her goodbye as she was going to leave for California Sunday. Well, I'm just going to put what she did, which is Oh, okay, thank you, Erin. I'm going to go check that out. Sunday. Thanks for telling me when there's something in the Discord, because sometimes I either don't hear it or I tune it out a little bit. Okay. New wood fiber board. I bet this is like what we see all the time in the older houses, like 1950s, like we live in. We actually don't have any paneling or anything in our house, but I'm sure there was. Ceiling tiles, low density fiber board that was used on walls and ceilings. Interesting. Aww. The thin paneling stuff. Claude's meowing. He learned how to meow. Oh, are you guys gonna hug? They've been in their own little crates all day. Okay. We stopped at P store. I don't know what P store is. And got a few groceries at the A&P store. That doesn't really help me know what it is, but it definitely is thank you. At the A&P store. And got a few groceries. Anyone know what the A&P is? Is that an actual like brand name, or is that just what they sell? Grocer? Market? Yeah. You remember that store? Oh, cool. So they had them all the way over here too? That's Ian's grandma. Hi, Grandma. You do too? You remember it too? Okay, so it must have been... Oh, okay, Atlantic, AD, Pacific. Oh, Atlantic and Pacific. Okay. Abercrombie and Fitch. That's funny. Okay, so I'm going to look it up. Atlantic and Pacific. Grocery store. The A&P Pacific Tea Company. Chain of grocery stores. Cool. That's funny that it's a tea company because I found a bottle in my woods. I go digging in my parents' woods and I find like all kinds of old stuff. There's like a farm pit back there. And there was a bottle, and I can't remember off the top of my head exactly what it was Grand Union Tea Company. And I did research on that company and it turned into a grocery store too. So it started off as just a tea company and then turned into a grocery store. Looks like this one had the same path. That's so cool. I love seeing the old ads. Okay, very cool. I wonder if we could find a picture of the one near them. I'm sure it was probably in Cedar Rapids, maybe? Or, yeah, wherever Elizabeth is. Because maybe they were notoriously affordable like Aldi nowadays. Oh, cool. So maybe it was like a special. They stopped there because it was closer to Elizabeth's house. Like maybe they don't go there all the time. Cool. Okay. And got a few groceries. While we were gone, Lloyd and Francis were out, and they had to take out meat and ice cream. Oh, take our meat and ice cream? That must be. More meat and ice cream back to CR that they brought. Oh man. So Lloyd and Francis, so Lloyd is Edna Sr.'s son, Francis is his wife. They must have been bringing them their meat and ice cream like usual, but they weren't home, so they brought them back. Hopefully the ice cream didn't melt. It's like 100 degrees. All right, another very hot day and no rain for so long. We had an early supper and Edna started working on the kitchen walls. Nellie came out later in the evening. Lloyd was out for a shift while in the afternoon. So Lloyd worked for the post office. I never can say that. He worked for the post office, but like on a train. So he was on the mail train. He sorted mail as the train went back and forth between Chicago and Omaha. Short. He's out for a short. Oh. You're gonna hear the vacuum for a second. Yeah, a short while, you're right. Was out for, I thought they were talking about like a shift. But no, he was out for a short while. Is it too loud with the vacuum? I don't know how much my mic is picking up of it. Was it September the month he died? Yes, it was. It was September 20. It was like the 24th or something, so we should definitely keep that in mind. And this would be the first one that we read that we get that experience, because the last diary that we read was when he passed away. You can still hear the typing. Can you hear my voice fine, or is the vacuum too loud? It's fine. That one's the oh, okay, okay. It's very loud for me, so that's why it's a little distracting. A warm day, but cloudy. So you just sucked something up. So it did not seem so bad. Edna got up early and started putting in the last of the something on the kitchen walls. This is a new word, but it's another type of wood. Pressed wood. I know, right? Yeah, he's cleaning around the litter box right now because the new problem is that apparently in the shelter they had worms. And we didn't know. They didn't know either, but like they probably should have done more about it. So now we're dealing with it. Yeah, it sucks, but so he's just like cleaning in there because they just got home. Cat stuff. Gross. Okay, Edna got up early and started putting in the last of the pressed wood. Have you heard? Yeah, that's what I've heard too. They all have worms when they're babies. They said they probably did get them from the mother, but it's obviously been like they've had them for a while. But it's got so many problems. I guess I'll look up pressed wood. You've heard of press board, maybe press wood. Yeah, it's interesting that she spelled it P-R-E-S-T. Paneling, I'm assuming it is. For press board, maybe press wood. Yeah, I don't know. It looks like it says P-R-E-S-T. And it's on the walls. You think I nailed it? Okay. I mean, I don't know. Does it? I don't see on here anything that says, like, specifically pressed wood. But, I mean, I don't know how much time I want to spend on that, so. Maybe preet wood? I'll try it. Preet wood. Because it does kind of look like it could say that. I don't know. Sometimes it just takes a couple of searches, like we just need to spend more time on it, but. Alright. I'll add that to my list. On the kitchen walls. When she got that all on, she started painting on the ceiling and finished that and some on the side walls. So they're like doing a full-on kitchen renovation. It was a hot job. She worked until 6 o'clock. Nellie came out in the evening. Okay. Elizabeth left for California tonight. Ma went into Blanche's with Nellie this morning. Yeah, it might be pressed wood, but she wrote it as it reads. Okay, I'll check that in a second. They brought her home. I don't know. That's a good question, Brenda. I don't know if they're doing this to Edna Jr.'s house or Edna Sr. and Todd's house. I think it must be Todd and Edna's house, because I feel like before she used to say, oh, Edna did this on her house, at her place, in her yard. Like, she usually mentions if it's specifically Edna's, but I don't know. Because at some point, they definitely moved in together. So, I don't, like, they combined into one home. I'm just not sure when that happened. Pressed wood paneling. I don't know. What is this type of diary called? Does it have any special name? Some of them have like a brand. This one says I don't know if it's Marquette or Marouette Diary and Daily Reminder. Some of them have like it's called the Standard Diary. I can look at the other ones because the other diaries from this family look slightly different, and they are that other brand, I think. Yeah, they are the Standard Daily Journal, the older ones. It says it on there. I don't know if you can see. And then this one looks like it's I would say Marquette, but it doesn't look like a Q. So maybe I'll look up Marquette. I'll see if I can. But they are just regular diaries. Sometimes back then people did 5-year diaries. This one is just like a regular. It's a Marquette. Okay. But the Q in the picture doesn't like fully show. But yeah, that looks exactly like it. And this is someone's. Oh my God, this is Chicago, Illinois. Okay, I should save this. Maybe this is one of Todd's diaries. 99 cents for the diary, a couple bucks for shipping. Probably isn't, but you never know, right? This is 1940. Whoever owned this diary put a couple of birthdays in pencil, otherwise it's empty. Okay, well, it was from 2019. Maybe I should message them. Okay, anyways, let's keep going. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. Okay, they brought her home. So they're talking about Edna Senior's, I know that would be crazy. They're talking about Edna Senior's mother, Ma. Okay, Monday, September 8th. Wow, we're only on the 8th. Temp 96. Oh my God, it's been so hot during the afternoon. I did a big washing today. Edna and I drove over to the cemetery to water the trees tonight. Whoa. Wow, I butchered that. Hold on. There is some grass fires now quite often. Along the railroad, as the grass is so dry. I remember I said that last week. I was like, wow, it's really hot and dry. I wonder if there are any fires. So I guess the answer is yes. The fire department was called out yesterday afternoon. I can't remember which diary it was, if it was the 1943, bless you, or 1944 one. But one of them, they were talking about fires in town, like a barn burned down. A grain elevator, actually. I think it was heat related. I can't remember exactly, but. Alright. Temp 72 at 7 a.m. And got warmer. Ooh. I can't type all of a sudden. And got warmer right along. I made some crabapple jelly. And butter today. Edna painted the strips of boards for the ceiling. Of the kitchen tonight. She worked at it. She worked at it out over in the garage. Okay, hold on. Okay. So they really are weird feedback noise. Is it the fan? There's a fan running. There's also my computer fan, which sometimes is loud. Maybe that will help. Let me know if it doesn't help, because you don't hear it. I can turn up or turn down the gain on my microphone. I'm just not sure which way does what, so I usually don't touch it. It's really poor design. It has no, like, indication of which way is gonna have less noise and which way is gonna allow more noise, so I usually just leave it where it is. But I think it's been a lot better since I've had the microphone, because my computer, I'm on a laptop. I don't have a desktop. Ian does. I don't. I want one, but my laptop, like, cannot handle this, and it, like, gets really, really loud. And then the microphone on the laptop picks it up. It does it when I'm on Zoom, too. It was like a signal through the mic. If it's something that sounds like doo-doo, like that, it's definitely Discord. But I don't think a Discord message has been sent recently. But the Discord notifications do sometimes go through the microphone. And I just have that up because my Patreon group, my Patreon subscribers are in a private Discord group, and we do a lot of research together, so whenever you hear that, that's them sending something. Like a fuzzy pulse noise? Yeah, that's it. That must be it. Oh, you're explaining what it sounds like. Fuzzy pulse noise. That is a good, oh, not the message tone. Huh. That's a good way to describe the Discord notification, though. Fuzzy pulse noise. Okay, it was 72 this AM. I never would have thought to describe a sound like that. Fuzzy. Oh, it was 72 this AM at 7. And was 90 at 2 o'clock. In the afternoon. Until, oh, thank you, Edna. So specific. Until 5 o'clock. Edna had the afternoon off, so she went to kind of like a sound as if you hit off a microphone. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. Maybe I bump into it sometimes. Or it could be like a connection, but if it's good most of the time, I'm not going to fiddle. Okay, so Edna had the afternoon off, so she went to CR. She bought herself a coat and did some other shopping. Mr. Kroll went to Chicago. So Edna works at the bank in town, the Fairfax State Savings Bank, and Mr. Kroll is also an employee there. That's why they know each other. So she drove Mr. Kroll's car out home, and Nellie drove ours out. I swear to God, like, everyone's always driving each other's cars places. And everyone's car needs to be fixed, but it's always like the car switcheroo thing. Oh, they drove Nellie's car, so she drove their car. It's like always, I don't know, it's weird. Mrs. Kroll came out home with Edna. A train going through about 9:30 set fire. Oh, set fire to the grass. Okay. Thought the train set fire. I'm gonna check. I will check that. I think. Oh, thanks. And Nellie drove ours out. Thank you. A train going through about 9:30 set fire to the grass north of the track and started burning this way. Ooh. Edna had to call the fire department. That's scary. Why do I feel like that's not the first time that's happened? Am I crazy? I feel like there was some other time that Edna had to call the fire department because of a brush fire. But maybe I don't know where I would get that, though. Like, why I would think that happened before. That's very specific. Temp 68 at 7 a.m. And raining. Did not last long. And not very much. Edna worked until after 10 o'clock. Putting the strips on the kitchen ceiling. Wish I could see what the end product was, like how it came out. But could not finish tonight. Claire Stallman's had a baby boy last night. So we can definitely find out who that baby boy is. Maybe if anyone is making me a list, add that to the list. But if not, it's okay. Friday, September, free day. Some days I'm like really on the typing game and other days I'm really off. And today I'm really off. Temp 67 at 7 a.m. She always gives us the temperature at 7 a.m. We had the best shower this morning that we have had for weeks. I bet that's in the newspaper. Edna worked on the kitchen walls tonight for a while. And then Laura and her went to the Ladies' Aid Social at the Legion Hall. After she came home, she worked some more. Reminds me of my summer. Our summer was just house projects, renovation stuff, all summer, every day. Now it's cooled down a little bit. Hi, Micah. It's cooled down a little bit because I started school again. I'm a teacher, so we have not been making as much progress, but I'm still working on a couple of projects here and there. Ian actually started to make the cat's little, like, scratching posts and stuff. He's so good at it. It came out so good. And I'm working on the kitchen cabinets. The cabinet doors. They had nice, like, I mean, they weren't nice, but they were solid wood, which is rare nowadays, so I kept them. They were just kind of flat and boring, though, and I wasn't crazy about the color. It didn't really go with anything. It was like a yellowy wood, but, like, very yellowy. Like, so I'm adding a little bit of detail to it, just like, almost like a shaker-style cabinet. I added, like, a border, and then I'm going to paint them. So I'm still working on it. It's, like, a lot more work than I thought it was going to be, but that's how everything goes. So I'll let you go. I'll put a video up when I finally finish them, but it's been a long time that I've been working on them. We had an early supper and Edna nailed the strips on the kitchen walls. She worked at it until 10 o'clock. Nellie did not come out tonight as her cousin died. And she went to Lisbon. That's sad. So we can also figure out who the cousin is. Probably by looking at the family tree. The kitchen was so cute on the last video. Thank you. It's definitely, like, we want to do a lot more to it, but we just don't have the money or time right now. So we're working with what we got. We have, like, I don't even know if I shared this yet on TikTok. I kind of stopped with the home videos, but the cabinets, we, like, took the doors off. I'm keeping some of them open, I think, but I might get glass doors. The wallpaper on the back of the cabinets I'm really happy with. And we also lime washed it. I think I've showed that. Like, the brick, we made it white. We also, controversial in my opinion, like, I would have never done this unless I was in this situation, but we did a, like, sticky, like a film countertop cover thing, because the counters were so gross. They were like, I don't know the name. They're like laminate countertops, but they were really old. They were warped. They were like just nasty. Like the edges were collecting stuff, like crumbs and everything. It was just like, it felt gross to use them. So we don't really want to get nice new stone countertops put in because we would hope to expand the kitchen sometime soon. So we didn't want to do all that, but we needed to, like, do some kind of upgrade. I didn't really want to paint the countertop. Some people do that. So we got some off of Amazon. It's like almost like those sticky tiles that people are doing now, except it's just a countertop. Yeah, and it looks actually, I mean, it doesn't look great. You can see the seams, and it definitely doesn't feel like stone, but from afar, which is what matters, like it's a Band-Aid, you know, it's not the permanent thing, it looks pretty good. Contact paper, yeah, it's basically contact paper. And it's thick, like it actually is really sturdy, it's held up, we've had it on for like over probably a couple of months now. And it gets wet, and like the hot things go on, and like nothing has torn it yet or gotten underneath, so highly recommend if you're looking for something to like temporarily upgrade. Or even, you know what I realized it's good for? Testing out a color of countertop. If you're like not sure if you want to go like, we used like black marble kind of look. And this is a great way to test it out, because you don't want to just buy something crazy like if you think it might not work. But it looks really good. So now we know when we do get countertops, we might go with a darker countertop. So yeah, I don't know. I recommend it. I don't remember the brand exactly, but if anyone wants to know, I'll look it up. Alright, Edna got up early, and I also learned some tricks. Yeah, it's from Amazon. I learned some tricks that, like, if I did it again, so maybe I'll share it. Because, you know, you learn from experience. And we only have such a small countertop area, so it's done. And I got up early and started painting the kitchen ceiling. We did that too. Ceiling. She worked until 11 o'clock. And then we had dinner. Because we were going to Lisbon, to Nellie's cousin's funeral. We left home, about 1 o'clock. The funeral was at the M.E. Church, which is the Methodist church, and then we went out to the cemetery. We stopped at the dinner den. I wonder what the dinner den is. At Lisbon. So, is it Lisbon, Iowa? It must be. And had a lunch on our way home. We stopped at Lloyd's and stayed for supper. But Edna had a bad headache and could not eat any supper. Yes, there's a Lisbon in Portugal too. Every time I see it, I think of that because I've been to Lisbon. Me and Ian went there last year. We loved it. Okay. We stopped at Lloyd's. We actually liked the countryside area that we stayed in better than the city, though. We're not really city people. It was nice to go in for a day or two and explore, but we're definitely glad that we didn't stay in Lisbon, because it's just kind of like, it's a lot. Monday, September 15th. Yeah, I'm Portuguese too, so 15th. But my grandparents aren't from Lisbon. My grandmother was from Aveiro, which is like higher north. I didn't say it correctly, but and then my grandfather was from Madeira Island, which I've been to also. Beautiful island. Meant to say they have the rugby team. Oh, yeah. And the soccer team, Cristiano Ronaldo is from Madeira Island. And everything over there is named after him because they're so proud. I started a fire in the furnace as soon as I got up this morning. Literally, their airport is named after Cristiano Ronaldo. It's funny. Temp was 44 at 6:30 a.m. I kept a fire all night too. Okay, that is crazy. So she's lighting a fire in the furnace and it was just like 100 degrees. I guess it must have cooled down a lot. This was the first night that I kept a fire this season. Edna did not feel good. Oh, so she still doesn't feel good. I wonder if she just overworked herself. So did not paint, but did some mending. Lloyd and Francis came out for a while. They had stopped at Mrs. McCormick's and got some eggs. Okay, does that say mushmelon? Good night, Rachel. Oh, that's sad. I hope you feel better. Yeah, I'll upload it. I haven't caught up yet. I just uploaded two readings ago, 2 lives ago, and I'm going to do the one from last week right after this. And then I'll do this one whenever it takes a couple of days for it to actually pop up. And then I can download it, so I'll get it up there. Muskmelon. I don't know what a muskmelon is, but I'm going to look it up. But I hope you feel better. We'll miss you. Oh! Oh, okay. It's kind of like a cantaloupe. What's the difference? Several different varieties. Oh, okay. A cantaloupe is a type of muskmelon. But there are other kinds too. Cool. Never heard it called that. Okay. Oh, thank you, Rachel. You're too good. It's that time of year, I think, where we're catching everything. Fingers crossed, knock on wood, whatever we need to do to keep us healthy. I am like, I caught a couple of things and I'm good now, but man, I'm sure, Rachel, the kids are bringing stuff home from school. Like illnesses left and right. Because that's what, like, ever since I've been a teacher, it's been brutal. Especially after COVID, after we took the masks off. Then, like, that's when I started to get sick constantly. Temp 54 at 6:30 a.m. Nellie came out after supper and stayed all night. I still had some fire in the furnace. Okay. Ooh, a long one. Rock melon. Is that another kind? I also haven't heard of that. Edna and I went to CR this afternoon to do some shopping. So CR is Cedar Rapids. I got a red dress. Ooh. And some shoes. Edna got her black hat. Edna got her black... The cat is scratching at one of the scratching posts and it's distracting me so much. Got her black hat and we bought Junior's wedding present. I wonder who Junior is. Is that Clarence Jr.? There's a family member named Clarence who they call Junior, I think, sometimes. Oh, that's what you say in Indiana? What do you say in Indiana? Oh, that's what do you say? I missed that. Oh, muskmelon. Okay. I know, ooh la la. Red dress, Edna. Okay, Chester. Oh no, bad news. Chester Mitchell died early this morning. Edna, Nellie, and I went up to the mortuary. I just don't like, I don't know. It's like people go to wakes all the time, but whenever she mentions it, I get like, I don't know. Because she always like says they went to the mortuary, which is, I find that more morbid of a way to phrase it, but I guess that's just how she, I don't know. To see him this evening. Sometimes she'll like say to see his body, which is worse, so at least she's just to see him. After we got home, Edna went down to the Legion Auxiliary Aux talent play at the auditorium. It was 20 after 11. Oh, she spelled out 11 when she got home. A good crowd. So I'm sure that's in a newspaper. We do have the Daily Iowan newspaper, which is a more like local one where a lot of this stuff is published. But the problem with that is you have to search specifically like day by day. You can't just type in like newspapers.com. You can type in like, oh, when did they mention the auxiliary club from this date to this date, and it will pull them up. But the Daily Iowan is like much more crude of a search tool, so I'd have to look day by day. Maybe, actually, let me just search newspapers.com, because why not? What would I look up? Maybe talent. And not 1947, we'd be looking at September. Usually only, it's very finicky. It looks up September when I put SEP in Iowa. I don't know if that's going to be enough to narrow it down. American Legion Cedar Rapids. No, that's July, not September. Okay, it didn't register the September. Come on. It's annoying. It's very finicky the way it searches, and I don't know why I can't get it to look. Maybe there's no results for September. I knew what her daughter did every day to a T. I know. Oh, and you listened to a podcast recently that discussed the language of funerals and death. Really interesting. That sounds really interesting. What podcast, do you know? Do you remember? There we go. Did she say if it was in Fairfax or Cedar Rapids? Maybe I could just look up Fairfax. I don't know. Guess I'd have to do more research on my own. The vocal fries. Oh. I need a good podcast recommendation, because I am like, you know when you just get, like, I have a few that I listen to all the time, and I'm just so sick of them all, and it's not like they're bad, but I just, like, need something new. I still listen to my grandma's Diaries. That one won't get old, but that only comes out once a week, so it's like I listen to it on Tuesdays, and then it's all gone. Like, I need something else. Temp got up to 96 this PM. I might try to get audiobooks again. That's what I was doing for a while. Chester, Mitchell. Yeah, I love my grandma's Diaries. I know, me too. It makes me want to have a podcast. Oh yeah, The Office ladies. So I was listening to that too, Erin. And then they took The Office off of Netflix. I mean, I've seen it so many times. You must have watched it a million times too. I've seen it so many times that, like, no matter what episode they're talking about, I know what they are. I know what they're talking about. I can basically, like, see the episode in my head. But at the same time, it's like, I can't believe they took it off of Netflix. You'll be uploading about 4 packs. Oh, okay, good. Okay. The last time I checked, Erin, there weren't any new ones. I don't know if you've uploaded one since then, but yes, definitely. Erin has a podcast, and it's similar to my grandma's diaries. She's reading an old diary. Yes, many, many times. That's like my comfort show, The Office. Yes, I've heard of Mortified too, and one of our diary detectives, Emily, was on that. I don't know if it was on the podcast or if it was on like a video version, but she shared it with us in the group. Erin, what's it called? Pages from the Past. And it's on Spotify, and it's on, I actually only listen to it on Spotify, so I don't know, is it on Apple? It was a live show you did. Okay. Did they record it at all? Oh, obviously, someone recorded it because he sent it to us, but was it on the podcast at all, Emily? Yes, she's awesome. Oh, thank you. So the world, thank you. Yes, Erin's podcast is in the comments. Pages from the Past. Spotify, Amazon Music, and Apple Podcasts. Yes. Listen, subscribe, follow. It didn't make the cut on the podcast. Oh, maybe not yet. It's probably one of those podcasts that they put together stories from like the past, just like The Moth reminds me of The Moth. That's a good podcast. They'll take different stories and put them together whenever they kind of match up. So maybe you'll make it on. All right, Chester Mitchell is to be buried Saturday the 20th. Yeah, I would like to make a podcast too. It sounds fun, but I don't know. It's a lot of work. I'm sure, Erin, I'm sure you can tell us it's probably a lot of work. But you do a good job. I like the music a lot. I don't know how I would be able to choose music. Edna went into Nellie's for supper tonight. Pat from California. Yeah, this does sound similar to a podcast. It's just less produced, less predictable. Sometimes there's dead air. Pat from California was there also. Nellie came home with Edna about 11:15. I also like how this is like a live podcast. You know, we can talk back and forth, and the chat is helpful for me. Like, sometimes it's hard to just create things without anyone to bounce off of. It is a lot, yeah. Translating the diary, then reading it a few times to know the tone and the tempo. Yes, I've found that. So, like, when I make videos about Anglesy's diary, sometimes the hardest thing is, like, you have the words, but when you go to read it, it's not the right tone, like you're saying, in tempo and what's coming next. You know, it can be tough. So I feel you. And then you're also, like, you have to read it, and you don't have the visuals of, like, pictures of the people and the places, so it's even harder because it's all audio. Like, it relies totally on the way that you read it. But you do a great job. Temp 94 at 2:30 p.m. Everything is so very dry. Lloyd was out for a while this afternoon. Edna, Laura, and I went over to Mitchell's tonight for a while as they brought Chester's remains out some today. What does that mean? They brought his remains out? I just heard Claude make a noise. So cute. He has these, like, tiny little meows now. It's adorable. Okay, so she often says, like, we went over to Mitchell's, but she's talking about multiple people. So, is the Mitchells, like the last name Mitchells. But it sounds like she's talking about one person. Exactly, I want to read her comments about grown school in the right way. I know, especially if the teenage, like, grown. He must have been laid out in his home. Yeah, I guess so. And that was a tradition, I know, but oof. Is it someday or some today? Brought his remains out it's some today. And I think I read that, but I didn't type it. The house was full. Oh yeah, the house was full. See, this is another example of how I need to just keep reading because it'll kind of like give some clues. So it is their house. Why hasn't there been personal feelings? I don't know. I think that's just like a time period thing with the diaries. Like if you think of a diary nowadays, we really do pour our hearts out into them, and you know, it's all about feelings and emotion. But back then, a lot of diaries were just, you know, telling the facts about what happened. And I know, like, this is a particularly, like, grim time where you would think she would be writing, like, her feelings about it, but I don't know. There is, you know, a couple of entries, like, when they lost their Todd, so Edna Sr.'s husband, Edna Jr.'s father, and Lloyd's father, that was a very emotional entry. So there are times where she does get emotional, but most of the time it's very matter of fact. Yeah, Brenda says, a sign of the times. Home today. Okay, hold on. They brought Chester's remains out. It is, thank you. That makes more sense. That makes more sense because it tells us they brought him home. It seems like when they said they brought him out some, it's like they took him for a ride, which is why I thought it was weird. The house was full. We went over to the cemetery to water the little trees before we went to Mitchell's. Okay. So September 20th, Edna got away at 2 o'clock. Got away at 2 o'clock. Maybe she means got away from work. And we went over to the cemetery for Chester's burial. A large number of people there. Edna went to the bank to work afterwards. Nellie came out after supper. It's like one of the most common sentences in this diary, I feel like. Nellie came out after supper. She says that a lot. It started to rain about 6 o'clock, and we had a nice rain during the night. It was quite chilly in the morning. Good, they needed some rain and they need some cooling off in the morning. Oh, I'm getting hungry. All right. A damp, chilly morning. A much-needed rain fell during the night. Kind of like a recap from the last entry. Lloyd and Frances came out about 2 o'clock. Lloyd and Frances came out about 2 o'clock. And we went to Van Horn to Junior's wedding. I wonder if Van Horn is a place or... Well, it must be a place, but like, is it a town or a venue or something? I can look that up. But it was a large wedding and a very nice one. They had a reception in the church parlor afterwards. So it must be the town. Edna didn't go. I wonder why. She painted the kitchen walls while we were gone. We got home about 5 o'clock. Nellie came out in the evening. Okay, Van Horn is a town, thank you. And I'll do some more research about this wedding. Temp 40 at 7 a.m. Lloyd and Roger came out and dug 4.5 rows of potatoes this afternoon. The ground was just like a rock. It was all they could do to get them dug. There is 4 or 5 rows to dig yet, but we'll have to let them go. We'll have to let them go until we have more rain. Edna painted some more on the kitchen wall after she got home. Okay. So Edna's still working in the kitchen. Lloyd and Roger. Roger is Edna Sr.'s grandson. They're coming to help with the potatoes. They do a lot of helping around the farm, garden, now that Todd has passed away. All right, Edna went to CR, Cedar Rapids, after work tonight. She did some shopping. And then Nellie and her went to a show. They got home about 10 o'clock. I washed the kitchen woodwork today and ironed and ironed. I heard on the 10 o'clock news that Dr. Broghammer died this evening. Broghammer? About 6 o'clock. He was ill about 2 weeks. I wonder if that's like a local doctor or if that's something bigger, because I don't recognize that name. Well, obviously it's just going to give me a random doctor, but I wonder if I go to find a grave. And Broghammer dying in 1947. Anyone recognize that name? Is that like something that was big in the news, or is that just... Nothing coming up in Iowa. Just some... Catherine? Nope, yeah. I'll have to look. Maybe I'll just look in the local newspapers for that, because it could have been a local news station, not like a big thing. Okay. We'll just keep going. They do mention, like, world events, too, sometimes, though. Very rarely. A light frost last night. How did we go from, like, 100 degrees in the middle of the month to a frost now? The first this fall. Temp was 39 this morning. I finished washing the kitchen wood work today. Okay. Sounds like Cincinnati weather. Yeah, it sounds like New England weather too. I mean, not really though. I feel like New England weather is notoriously up and down like crazy, but not even that much. It rained some today. Norman, Francis, and David came out a while this afternoon. Norman had 2 days at home. He will go back Sunday to St. Louis. Lloyd is in Omaha today. So Lloyd works for the mail train, like I've said, so he was in Omaha for work. He goes between Omaha and Chicago. Edna didn't go to CR this eve, but worked until about 8 o'clock, or 6 o'clock. She said 8 and then crossed it out. Have we gone to kindergarten? I don't know what that means. Okay. Nellie came out after supper. All right. It is 3 years today since Todd died. Oh, okay, so we actually had brought this up earlier. September 28th is Todd's anniversary. I was thinking the 24th for some reason, but so yeah, that is so sad. This is the first diary that we've read that's been like a full year. It's been 3 years, but the last diary we read in 1944 was the year that Todd passed away, so this is the first one that we're reading, like their experience after. I think the weather was about the same as now, rather mild. Edna started to paint in the kitchen, but did not get to do much. She had a bad headache. Nellie and Irene. I have a picture of Irene I can show. Came out, and Edna and them went to the Catholic church dinner. Oh, hold on. Hold on 1 second. There are some things in the Discord I'm going to grab. Alright, we have some pictures. What is this? Oh, this is the AMP grocery store. Okay. This was from before. I'm missing another live. I have an event. Oh, we'll miss you, Jen. That's okay. We're almost done, so it's alright. So that's the AMP grocery store. There's some more things I'll grab too after, but I'll just keep going for now. Nellie and Edna came out, and Edna and them went to the Catholic church dinner. Norman was going back to St. Louis tonight. All right. Almost done. Ooh, a kitty. Claude's in the chair. Can you guys see the chair? Hi, buddy. Aww. He tried to meow. I don't know if you guys can even see the chair behind me. Yeah, I think you can see it. Hi, bud. He's so sad. Little worm boy. Temp 53 at 7. Yeah, that's my Claude. Oh, someone had asked if they were painting the kitchen. Yes, they are. They put up paneling on the walls and in the ceiling, we figured out, and they're doing like painting it or something. I washed, so they're definitely like updating the kitchen, and put up the first storm windows downstairs. Pulled the bean vines up and other odd jobs. Edna did not get home to supper until 7 o'clock. Bean vines. So I did talk to Jim and I asked if Todd and Edna Delaney, if they continued farming, because they inherited some land from Todd's father, who was a big farmer. And he said they didn't really have a big farm. It was more like a garden, if anything. But it does seem like they grow a lot of stuff. All right, and after we're done with the entries today, I do have something else I want to show you, because I need your guys' opinion on this. So hold on. Tuesday, September 30th, temp 33, this AM at 7. The coldest morning so far this fall. My house still has storm windows that I have to put in. Yeah. Yeah, it feels like in the diary they're constantly like putting in the storm windows, taking out the storm windows, putting them in, taking them out. But must be worth it. Especially the way the weather fluctuates so much. It gets so cold. And then obviously so hot on the other end of the spectrum. It's crazy. The coldest morning so far this fall. Edna worked until about 8 o'clock tonight. It's the end of the month. As Mr. Crawl went to sail and then came home and went to a wedding, and being the end of the month. How well do we know them that I said that before I even read it? The end of the month is always a busy time for Edna Jr. Connected. Am I back? That is so weird. That's the second time this has happened. Can you guys hear me? This happened last week too. Totally disconnected. And I'm like literally plugged into the internet. You can hear me. Okay. I don't know how much cut out. The last thing I said was, I think I'm losing my voice. I don't know if you guys heard that, or if... I don't remember what I said before that anyways, so I can't really recap. I'm back. Yeah, weird. How long was it out for? Just a second or a while? I didn't notice until it like popped up on my screen and said live disconnected. A second. Okay, good. Before, like when I was just on the Wi-Fi at my parents' house, when I was doing these lives, sometimes it would just be like constant, you guys remember, I'm sure, constantly cutting out. And then I'd be talking for like minutes on end just to nobody, because nobody could hear me. It's been a lot better, but the past couple weeks there have been a couple of times where it cuts out. It's annoying because I'm actually hooked up to the Ethernet cable. Whatever. Okay, Lloyd Francis, Norman, and Dick Morris, or Morio, I don't know. I think it might be Morris. Came out this evening. You know why I'm partial to this being Morris, though? Because in the other diary, there is a Dick Morris. Do you think that says Morio? I think it might. Came out this evening. Norman returned from St. Louis for a 12-day stay. Yeah, I think it is TikTok, and TikTok has been getting, like, worse. I am starting to, like, I've been posting, like reposting my TikTok stuff on YouTube. But I'm considering eventually moving away from TikTok Live onto YouTube Live. I haven't tried it yet, and I might try to do like a dual stream, like do them both at the same time. But I don't know. I have less followers on YouTube. It's harder to get followers on YouTube, but the engagement of the followers is so much better because, yeah, Twitch. You had mentioned Twitch before too. I do have a Twitch account. I just haven't ever used it yet, but I have one. I don't know. Like TikTok, I post something, it doesn't show it to any of my followers. At least YouTube shows it to my followers, like they actually see it. So I don't know. Oh, it's October. We're not gonna do October. So yeah, I'm just kind of like a little bit frustrated because I mean TikTok, I have like thousands more followers than YouTube. They should be showing those videos to my followers, but they're not. So I don't know. So if you're on YouTube, join me on there because it will actually show you my stuff if you follow me on YouTube. But speaking of other projects, I wanted to show you guys these gravestones that I should test it with the Diary Detectives. Yeah, I could. Thank you. That's a good idea. We should do that. Because it's hard to switch platforms. And I also don't want to switch platforms if people are more comfortable or, you know, they like to come on to TikTok. But I think YouTube is an easier shift from TikTok than Twitch. Because Twitch, I think, do you have to have an account to watch someone on Twitch? Like, I've never even watched, like, Twitch videos. Like, do people need to have an account to see your stream? Yeah, I think Twitch is one that, like, people use for video games a lot. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people haven't even heard of it. So maybe if there's no account needed, maybe... Oh, you need an account. You have to have an account to comment. Okay, so maybe we'll try, like, slowly moving towards, like, a dual stream if I can figure that out. I don't know if my computer can handle it. But, I don't know. I'm just getting, like, kind of sick of it. But... we'll see. We can do a test one on YouTube, definitely. Alright, so I wanted to show you. I wonder if I can make this bigger. Again, it's like small because the screen has to be like tall like a phone. Yeah, Twitch I think is primarily for gamers. I'm sure there's a lot more on there, but I think that's what it's most known for. So I have been working on findagrave.com, which is a great website. If you like history and you like to do this kind of like research stuff, findagrave.com is a great way to get involved with that, especially locally. So it's a website where you can go and search graves. I was just on it earlier looking for the grave of Dr. Broghammer. But you can actually contribute by putting pictures of graves up or editing the years that someone was born and died, like relationships of people and things like that. So I've been working on a certain graveyard that's kind of near my house. It's like on my way home from work. I stopped there. And I've been updating the Find a Grave website with a lot of the stones aren't logged at all. So I have a couple of stones that I've been doing research on. There were two brothers that passed away in 1878. And they had like kind of a crazy story. They went missing for a few months. They couldn't find them. And the townspeople came up with this rumor to explain their disappearance, and they thought that they were eaten by a panther because apparently there was a panther sighting there. I don't even know if that's like physically possible for there to be a panther in this area. I don't think so, but I haven't really looked into that much. But there were rumors basically of a panther in the area, and people thought, oh, they must have gotten the two boys. But eventually they did find them in the reservoir nearby, which is so sad. So I've been just like doing research on that gravestone for a while, and I started to look at the other siblings because Seth and Willie, those are the two boys, their gravestone actually has the story of their disappearance carved into the stone, which I've never seen before. I've never seen like a description. I mean, maybe I have seen a description of how they died on a stone before, but I don't know. It just like struck me. That was like very out of the ordinary. And I noticed that the other siblings who died young also had similar inscriptions carved, but I really couldn't read them easily. So these are like progress shots. If you want to go onto the website, it's www.thingslostandfound.com. You have to put the www. Yeah, they wanted to make sure their story was known. I know. I think it's like so interesting, and I'll never gloss over a stone again. Like, I feel like sometimes I just don't even read the bottom because it's hard to read. First of all, you have to work for it, and usually it's just something that's, it's a sweet thing, but it's kind of generic. But these are very specific. I did get a couple of words on the sister stone. This is Ellen. I put it into a photo editing app, and I negativized it. Like, I made it opposite negative, like a photo negative, and that helped. But I still can't get all of the words. And I did stop on the way home today and try to do a quick rubbing of the grave, but the paper and the tools that I brought didn't work. So I'm going to try it with charcoal, but I'm also kind of wary of grave rubbing because I heard when I was a Girl Scout that grave rubbings damaged stones. So if that is the case, I don't want to damage any stones. But I think it's if many people are doing rubbings, in historic cemeteries, if many people are doing rubbings of a certain popular gravestone, that might damage it. I don't know. Also, these stones are so old and they're already kind of faded, so I don't really know what damage I would be doing, but I definitely don't want to do any. So I've been trying to do it just digitally as much as I can, but there are a couple of words I just can't get. But interestingly enough, when I posted these onto the website, just seeing it on a different screen helped just make a couple more words pop out. No, I haven't tried cornmeal. Was it you or someone else who commented that on one of my videos? Because I would love to know more about that, and I was that's in the back of my mind as an option. I tried just shining light with a mirror because I've heard that is a good tip. I went at the wrong time of day, and there wasn't great sun to reflect, so I have to go at a different time of day. Unfortunately, I always go after work, and the sun is setting. So I have to go maybe on a Sunday or something. I have classes on Saturday now, so I have no daylight where I can go. But I can try going on Sunday and reflecting the light, because I heard from different angles it helps. But I want to know what you mean by the cornmeal. So can you tell me, do you just throw cornmeal onto it? What does it do? Does it stick to just the parts outside and not the words? I want to know more about that. So yeah, let us know, because I'll try it. It sounds like something that can't really hurt. It was you. Okay. You just took a baggie of cornmeal and smushed it in the letters. So you just put the cornmeal onto the grave? And does it stick inside only and not on the outside? I don't know. I guess maybe I'll just try it. I can also look it up, I'm sure. Is this a well-known thing, or is this something that you just discovered? I'll definitely try it. So there are certain parts of the inscription that are more faded away than others. So I definitely got, I don't know if I can zoom in here, but I definitely picked up some words that were for sure. Can I make this bigger? Oops, no, it's not going to show here. Oh, here's a little bit bigger. So my mom learned about it. It made the letters pop so you could read them. Okay, I'll try it. You just you don't have to wet it or anything, just regular cornmeal. Paper against the headstone and then push the cornmeal against the paper to imprint. The cornmeal comes out of the baggie, right? You're putting it actually on the stone? I guess I'm confused about that now. I think I also just need to use a different tool for the rubbings. I think I was literally using a crayon from work. And I think the paper may have been too thick. I don't know. I have to look up tips for that, but I didn't want to press too hard because I don't want to do any damage. So I did find there were a couple of words churchyard that stood out really easily. And then there was this phrase, something about cold, damps, press. So those really stood out. But there were other words that kind of fell back into the background. But then after a while, I kept, shutting it, taking it back, looking at it, doing something else, coming back. And every time I came back, I would see something else. So it kind of built around the words that I was able to start with. And it's definitely a poem, which helps you figure out what the words are because they rhyme. And so Nikki said these inscriptions could be from books or the Bible. Have you searched what you have on Google? I have searched, like, towards the beginning I searched what I had, but I haven't searched again. So maybe I should, like, research this. I don't know if it's going to work with all the spaces. But it's like, shed not a tear. I don't think that they're book verses or Bible verses, because I really couldn't find anything like dry cornmeal and smeared it across the words. You were amazed. Okay, great. I am going to try it, and I'll take a video of it. Okay, and I'm going to save your... I thought my mom was nuts, but it worked. Okay, I'm writing down your username, too, so that I can tag you in the video. Oh, it auto-corrected. Basin, what's your name? Your first name? Basin 8, okay. Alright. So this is what I have so far. Shed not a tear, ye something dear. I thought maybe, I see like P-A-R-T, like parting, but I don't know. It doesn't look like departed, unless it says shed not a tear, departed dear. I don't even know if you guys can see this really well on the screen. It's like tiny on the phone screen, but something of a, like this line is like totally, I can't read that line at all. Maybe that says something about church, but I'm not sure. This says something maybe nigh, my little bed is made. Or maybe it's night, tonight my little bed is made. And then something in the churchyard, something my shade. So that rhymes. And then now I figured out, because this, I'm pretty sure it says brow. The cold damps press my brow. It sounds really morbid. I don't know. But that definitely, like, the word damp and press stand out. So, I don't know. Is that now Jimmy Jerry? I'm not sure. I really can't get this line. But it looks like, I can see that now. It looks like Jay's. Well, I'll only be on here for a few more minutes, so hopefully it doesn't kick me off. But yeah, so if you want a closer look, I uploaded them to my website, because then you can see them bigger than on the screen, even like on a TikTok or YouTube. It's so small. But then they also have, I hope you guys can even hear me, because it said disconnected for a second. The second sister, Elmira, her stone was even harder to read, but honestly, when I put it on the computer screen, it all, like, I could read it suddenly. Like, I could not read this in person, I couldn't read it on my phone, couldn't read it on my iPad, but when I put it up here, all of a sudden, I could see a lot. So, the bottom is definitely where her sweet sister lies, which makes sense, like, she's with her sister, buried next to her. Problems with live quality. Alright. Hopefully you, I don't know. It tells me something's wrong, but then it doesn't tell if you can't. It doesn't tell me if you guys can't hear me. But anyways, there's a few lines here that I could figure out. Her hands are folded on her breast, I think. And something closed her weary eyes. And then the last one, this one I'm not sure. Something sought the something of rest. That's a total guess, but where her sweet sister lies. So these aren't, they definitely aren't inscriptions that tell us exactly what happened, but it is, I think, nice to be able to read them. And then when I can decipher them, I'm going to upload them onto Find a Grave, because you can actually put in the inscriptions there. But yeah, I just thought it would be cool to open that up to, like, anyone who enjoys doing this kind of thing, if you want to go on there and help me read them. Maybe some of my guesses are wrong, probably, and maybe some of them you can confirm. So I think I'm going to log off. I think these internet issues are perfectly timed. And I'll be on next Wednesday, same time, so 6 p.m. Eastern, to do the, what month are we on now? To do October. So I hope you guys can actually hear me. I don't see any more comments coming in, so I hope I'm not frozen. But I hope you have a great night. I'll see you next week. I think it's frozen. So I'll see you guys next week. I'll just make an event on TikTok if you guys want to join it and get notifications. Or if not, you can just add it to your calendar. So I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for being here. Bye-bye.